All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm Misty Varsalone. I work for the Dallas Builders Association as the Director of Meetings and Special Events. ARC is one of our favorite events for our custom builders and our remodelers and our associates. It's the way that you get recognized and for all of the projects that you guys do throughout the years. This year, we've decided to go with a different production company. So Team PMP, Lisa's with Team PMP. They are experts in this area. They do award shows across the country. And I really thought that ARC needed some love, needed some professionals that know what they're doing and can answer your questions and can give us some advice on what other places are doing. And so we've brought them in, and that's why you're here today. We are doing our entries, submitting them a little bit differently, and she's going to go over how to get those submissions in and the best way to make your entries look good for the judges. So Lisa, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Again, Lisa Parrish. Just to give you a little background, yes, we produce 18 different awards programs around the country, including the Nationals for NHB, the Golden Nugget Awards, which is the oldest and largest design and planning competition, and the CARE Awards in Denver, which is also a custom home and remodeling competition. So we're very familiar with custom builders and remodelers, and we understand all the lovely detail that you all have in your entries, your homes, and your professionals. So it's my pleasure to be part of this program. And we are exciting news because what we've tried to do this year is to streamline and make the process of submitting easier, faster, and expanded so that you can get recognized on August the 20th. So as you can see on screen, what I have up, what I'm going to try to review today is everything that you already have available on our website, on the ARC Awards website. So as you can see, what you can see on screen is our call for entries. And this book has links in it with all the details that you're going to need for your submittals. So first off, I always like to let everybody know the first thing for any submittal is to go through this with a great attitude. Look at this as an opportunity to not only get recognized for what you did for the year, but also look at it as an opportunity to market yourself for the future to those potential clients and customers that will be coming online. Everyone likes to work with an award-winning firm. It's just like the Academy Awards, the Emmys, and so forth. The professionalism, credibility is always in fashion. So knowing that, we should always talk about why and when. So we want to make sure that you understand that you do need to be a Dallas Builder Association member to submit. Your partners or anyone involved in the entry submittal should also be members as well so that they can get the proper recognition. Projects can be open and completed anytime between January of 2019 all the way till June 30th, our entry deadline of this year. So we have a longer expanded playing field because, as we know, it takes a bit of time to get our custom homes and our models done. And also we want to also maybe have some landscaping that is fresh, or we haven't had photography taken. So we have expanded that entry eligibility. We also want to talk to you about your entry fees. Entry fees are $125 per entry across any categories in the competition. And our entry deadline, this is the date you want to write down on your calendar. You want to put it up on a board. You want to know, this is the deadline. This is the last date. This is not when you're going to submit. This is when the last date that you can. And that is June the 30th at 11:59 p.m. Please, 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 if I can give you one tip that will set your ARC journey on the right direction, do not wait until June 30th to do this work. Start this sooner than later. Pull your entries together, turn your entries in earlier. What'll happen is if they come in, that allows myself and my team a chance to go through them. And if there's any questions, issues, or anything that we think that needs to be updated, we have the chance to reach out to you and say, hey, listen, we're missing a floor plan. That image didn't come through, anything like that. So always think, how can you work ahead rather than waiting until that last minute deadline? So This year's entry process is slightly different than previously you have done. We have a two-step entry process. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go through and you're going to review your categories, and then you're going to submit your application, pay your fees, and then put your entries together. So before we get into the process, let's take a look at the categories. So within our call for entries, what we have here is we've provided for you definitions and judging criteria based on the different categories. For remodeling, curb appeal, we've expanded the definitions regarding modern contemporary design for architectural design, traditional, and transitional. We want to make sure that we're judging the homes within the categories that best fit them, put them in the right baskets for the judges so that we can expand that opportunity. We also have specialty design categories that we're going to talk about, as well as marketing categories. Those are new for 2022. So let's take a peek. In remodeling and renovation, these are for remodelers only. We have the addition, bathroom, kitchen, primary suite, and whole house renovations. Now, in our requirements, you have anywhere from 4 befores and up to 8 afters. Now, that doesn't mean you have to have that much photography, but if you have the availability to submit that much, that gives us a total of 12 images that you can submit. So it's always good to have at least one before so we can see where we're going. But if you don't have one, just explain why you don't. If it's a historical remodel or something of that nature, that's okay. But we do need to have at least 4 afters so that we can see, the judges can see what we're looking at. Now, if you're talking about a bathroom or a kitchen and you have a single or 2 images that showcase that entry, that is just fine. Don't worry. Submit the photography that you feel represents that submittal to its best light. You'll also be submitting a team project information form and a floor plan, but we'll come back to that a little bit later. For new construction, for our custom home builders, we have everything from curb appeal, kitchen, living spaces, primary suites. A new category for this year is best collection. Best collection is a series of homes that you may have brought online within the period that you would like to submit. Maybe you have a neighborhood where you've built a group of homes, or you have a series of architectural design that all play together. That's a new category for this year, and you may want to submit there. You may have 3 homes that were built on the same street or in the same neighborhood. We also have our custom home categories, which we've spread out this year. For architectural design, again, based modern and contemporary, traditional, or transitional. Again, in these categories, you have up to 12 images that you can submit. That's not a requirement, it's just an opportunity. So obviously you're going to put together your team project form, your floor plan, and your images. Also new for 2022, optional, a video tour. Now, this could be something that you may have used. You may have used a Matterport. You may want to go and walk the judges through it on your own with your own iPhone and take them on a tour and show them details and items that you would like to showcase as something very special or the wow factor. That is in addition to your photography, but it can be up to 2 minutes long and it can be saved and put into your folder, which again, we'll talk about later. For specialty design, open to our builders, our remodelers, and our associates, we have closets, landscape, media rooms, swimming pools, wine bars, interior design, and product innovation. And what we mean by product innovation is if you have something that you've put into a home or you've brought online that is so exciting, maybe it's a new garage door, maybe it's a very cool HVAC system, maybe it's phantom screens that are coming down or invisible screens. Anything like that that you think is something that should be showcased, this is where you're going to submit. Again, you're going to fill out a project team form, a floor plan that shows us how this space relates to the home, and obviously up to 8 images that maybe represent that space. Again, you don't have to have 8 images total, but you have the opportunity to. And optionally, you can have that optional video. If the video showcases or can give us more detail on that entry, that's completely up to you. New for 2022 for this and for the ARC Awards, we've added marketing. Now, every company has some sort of marketing. That's how we get to our customers. That's how we get to our builders or our consumers. So we've added the opportunity to submit your website, any social media, a promotional video or a product video, a marketing campaign or ad, Marketing campaigns can simply be ads placed into magazines or other media, and the use of technology. Use of technology can be anything. It's kind of a potpourri category because there's so many different things that people are bringing online. Again, we'll need any information or elements that you can to showcase those submittals, whether it be images or video files. And I'll show you some samples of those coming up. For professional achievement, we have project managers, the associate companies and or professionals of the year, remodeler of the year, and custom home builder of the year. Now for this year, something new for this year is we will have you complete a professional achievement form, which is basically information about the person and then a 300-word statement of why this person should be considered. And then a video from that candidate or that company. And in that video, we'd like you to submit answering 3 questions for our jury. That is, what was your biggest challenge for the year? What was your biggest success? And what are you most proud of? And in this, you will see I have some sample videos right here that you can watch in case you're interested in seeing how this reflects. So I'm not going to play that for you right now. I'm just going to let you see that they are available so that it gives you an idea of what somebody has said. All the samples that I've included in the call for entries for you are from a different awards program outside of this marketplace, but they do reflect and they will give you a good idea of what the jury and the judges are looking for. I've also given you a sample written statement that gives you something, a track to run in. It's always very helpful. And at any time, if you have a question, you can go back to this page here and my contact information, Lisa Parrish, with my phone number is available to you. Feel free to reach out at any time. I am your fairy godmother of awards programs. I love answering questions. I love guiding, and I love being of assistance so that you can get recognized for your work. Also new for 2022 are our best in show honors. So we have Remodeling Project of the Year. Now there's no additional entry fee for these, but what you do need to have in order to be considered, and you do need to submit so that we know that you want to be reviewed for this, is at least 2 entries within in the categories of 1 through 5. So for instance, if you wanted to go for Remodeling Project of the Year, you may enter it in best bathroom and the whole house renovation, or you may want to say, I'm going to go into primary suite and best bathroom. That's completely okay. But what you're going to do is you're also going to submit in category 32 so that we know you want to be considered. Same thing for custom home of the year. Custom home categories, you'll submit anything between categories 6 through 13 and 14 through 22 for a total of 4 entries to be eligible. So that will give us whether you're going to be submitting for your curb appeal, your closet, your architectural design, or your primary suite. Again, those are so you can be considered for custom home of the year. But let's go back and take a look at how you submit. So back on our earlier page, you'll see our steps to enter. And you will see the first step is you're going to want to review these categories. Review your categories, make a list of what you want to be submitting for, determine what you have for materials, whether or not you need to order photography or if you already have it. Most folks may have it already because you have it for your marketing or website. If not, make sure you get that underway so that you have it prior to our entry deadline. Once you're ready to submit, you're going to go to our entry fee application, and and here is what it looks like. Now I've gone ahead and propagated some fields just so we can see how this works. Note that once your application is submitted, no refunds are issued. So please choose these categories carefully. And so if you want to do them one at a time, or if you want to submit them in waves, that's completely okay as well. But just to give you an idea, first thing you're going to do is you're going to select your entry fee at the very top. And then as you'll see here, we have drop-down menus. I've propagated this. I've decided I'm ABC Builders, and I'm going to be submitting for Best Architectural Design of a Modern Contemporary Home. My project name is Parish Residence. My company name is ABC Builders, and my associate name is my architect's or my designer's company name. Now, that is up to you on whether or not you want to credit that person, but these fields all do need to have something within them. They are required fields. So for instance, if you don't have an architectural company's name or someone you want to credit, you can put NA, and that's completely okay. You'll put in the location of your home. I've decided I'm going to also submit my wonderful wine room in this home. So I've filled out parish residence. Note the project name is how we're going to refer to this, and it's going to be credited on the script and the winner's book and on your engraving. So choose that name or that project name or community name very wisely. I put in my builder name, my designer's name, and my location. I also created a video this year for my company, so I'm going to submit for best video. My project name is ABC Builders, and I've named it my 2022 promo video. I have my builder name, my ad agency company name, and my location. And I have decided I'm going to enter my website. My website is abcbuildersdallas.com. ABC Builders. I do not have anybody who worked with me, so I put NA in my associate name and my location. I also have my project manager, Steve Smith. The project name can also be your candidate's name. So that's where you'll put in that person's name. He works for me at ABC Builders. There is no associate, so I put NA and my location. And of course, I'm going for Builder of the Year because I'm really excited about what I did this year. ABC Builders is my project name because it's my own company name. My builder name, no associate, my location, and I'm going for custom home because the parish residence is amazing. So I've put in parish residence, ABC Builders, and no, it is free entry, no additional cost there. So if you'd like to add another project, you can add it here. As you can see, I just hit add another project, and you can pull down from the drop-down menu. As you can see, you can choose living space, interior design, any of the categories. Now, if I decide, I really didn't want to do that, you can click the X and it will remove it. That will give you a full list of all your entries. And now it'll ask you for your company information. I've propagated this, ABC Builders, Sally Smith, my address, my billing information, and I've decided that I'm going to pay by check. So again, remember, if you're going to pay by check, that the check is due to the HBA no later than June the 30th. Again, no refunds. However, if you decide that you want to change your category, we can adjust the category. We just will not be doing any refunds. I hit submit. Note that this system works best in Safari and Chrome. So in any case, at any time that you feel like you're having a problem or it doesn't process, you can pick up the phone and call me. I'm here to help you. Success, it went through. I will be contacted by email for my entry materials are due by June the 30th, and now I can download my forms. I'll click on my download, and what you'll see there is you can see that we have the Builder of the Year form, which I'll need. My professional achievement form, I'll need that for Steve Smith. I won't need the remodeler, but that's okay. I'll need my team project form for my website and my promotional video, and I will need my team project form, new home, and specialty because I'm submitting the parish residence. So I will just download those and I will have them ready for me to go. So that is how you will receive that. Now I want to show you, I'm going to stop share for just 1 second and give you an idea of what it looks like when you receive it on your email. Here, sure. It looks like this. You will get an email from ARC Awards and says, thank you for submitting to the ARC Awards 2022. Your charges will appear on your credit card, but I chose to pay by check. So my check needs to go to, sorry, forgive me, I should say ARC Awards there. I will fix that. And it will go to Misty at the DBA. Below, you'll get your entry numbers. Now, this is very important. This is what I wanted to show you. Your entry numbers are very important because this is a blind judging. The judges only know your entry by those entry numbers. And so, as you can see, my first entry number for my parish residence is 11-10005. My wine room is 20, which is the category number, and my serial number 1006, and my video is 107, and so forth. It will tell me that my grand total is $750. My entry materials are due June 30th. And again, I can find where I can download my forms. That's always available to you. Once I get all my materials together, I'm going to submit my entry materials via file sharing service Dropbox, Hightail, any of the file sharing services you'd like, whether it be Google Drive, anything that you're interested in, you're going to send those via a link to entries at Team PMP. I'm going to show you how to do that here in a few minutes. Again, you have my contact information here. And this is very important. It's also in the call for entries. It's how we're going to name our images. As you can see from our entries serial numbers, we're going to use those numbers to save all of our and name our plans and information, because your entry will only be known by those entry numbers provided above. Makes sense so far? Any questions? Okay. All right, back to our call for entries. Just one second. Close that. Go back to our form. Let's see. Pencil. All right, call for entries. Okay, within that, once you have your entry numbers and you have your details, you're going to start to pull your materials together. Okay, and so this is important for you to see. There is absolutely right here available for you a group of sample entries on this page. And the reason I put those there is so that people can see how to pull the materials together and how your entry should look when it comes to us. So for instance, here is a new custom home. This is a link to a Dropbox someone has sent to us with their materials. As you can see, they've numbered all their materials with their entry numbers. Their entry number, their category number was 14, and their entry number was 1037_1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll just give you an idea of what it looks like. So here's what they had. They have their floor plan. They have their project form, their team form and project form, and they have their materials. I will share with you the best case scenario is to walk the judges through the home as though we were there together in person, touring the home together. Walk them through the front door all the way through the home as though we were there, and then write your statement the same way. Anything that you can do to help that judge to digest the home, how it works, how it reacts, and how it lays out along with its floor plan is very helpful for the judge. Imagine that you're sitting somewhere and you're looking at 200 of these entries. What you want to do is be able to understand, digest, and comprehend what you're looking at. And of course, in any remodeling and custom home, they're very big, beautiful, complex, and ornate. And so what we want to do is point out the items that are the wows, why they stand out. If a customer or a client had specific wants or desires that you want to share, like they were really, really, really into this modern look, or they really, really, really needed to have that wine room, or the wife wanted to have a separate closet from the husband and they need to be exact opposite rooms of the house. Why that is the way it is. Those are the items that you want to showcase. Again, as you're going to organize those photos, that's why it's important for the numbers, is that is the order in which the photos will come up on screen for the judges. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, they gave us the information, the front to back, the outside, and then walked us through the home. So this gives you an idea of detailing and organization. As you can see, they also filled out their forms. They had some extra photos that they wanted to showcase with us that had some detail. That's completely okay if you want to put them in there. Your entries up to, past the 12. It can, you can provide those. What we like to say is those will be at the judge's request on whether or not they'll get to visit them. So going back to our Dropbox, does that all make sense to everybody? Any questions so far on that? Okay. So I've also included a whole house remodel entry. Now, obviously, the remodels are a little different than the custom homes because this is where we're going to tell the story of the befores and afters. So as you can see here, what they did in this entry is that what they gave us the before and then the after. So the before is number 1, the after is number 2 to really help us to understand. In some cases, they didn't have an exact before and after, but they did guide us through. The other element here, obviously on this one, you can see where the befores are and the afters are. The other hot tip is when you're naming it, if you, after the entry, if you want to write before and after. They walked us through the home and they talked about all the elements and what was different. As you can see, we have the before kitchen and the after kitchen. And then again, a very nice clean floor plan is very, very important. I will tell you, for any one of the entries that you're going to be putting together for ARC, a nice clean floor plan without it being a working drawing is helps the judges to understand. It doesn't need to be this level detail. This is just happens to be one that was very well put together, but that gives you an idea of what they're looking for. So going back to forgive me, I went ahead. We also have specialty rooms. So in case you were going to be submitting a specialty room, for instance, this was a living space. It was called the Zen Den. And what they wanted to submit was imagery of how it looks down from 4 levels. They've given us multiple views and then a nice floor plan and then their statement. So again, helping those judges to understand exactly what the space is, how it relates, how it worked for the client, what the client's desires and objectives were, is always very important. So again, these are all available to you in the call for entries. If you wanted to showcase your website, this is just a great example of a associate's website. What you'll see here is the judges will actually, in the case of a website, they'll actually judge the website live. They'll have the URL, they'll go to the website, we'll read them the narrative, the marketing statement of why, and they'll go through the website together on screen and they'll walk through it live. The images that you're going to submit are basically for us for the awards program and also as reference for the winner's book when you win. So those could be page screenshots of any of the key pages that you'd like to showcase. As you can see here, they gave us different screenshots and told us the story of what they did. Theirs was to update their gallery, to be more functional, and to be more B2C as well as B2B. So those are some of the samples that we have readily available for you. If you're going to be going for Builder of the Year, I also gave you a sample there. This will showcase ideas of what you want to submit. Builder of the Year is basically your logo, and then it's the answering the questions. In Builder of the Year, what we'll be asking you to describe are your working relationships, the ideas, and there's 5 questions in Builders of the Year. Your working relationships, how you work with your trades, how you relate to the association, and then your overall plan and strategy. Again, there's a sample there. You can go through that. And then also within that, you would also submit your sample video answering the 3 questions. So those elements are readily available for you. I do want to show you the forms. So for instance, your team and project information form. This is very easily done. It's a Word doc, so you can save it to your desktop. You're going to fill in your entry serial number, your project name again, your entrant company in the email, and anybody who else should be credited and notified when you win. You also put your contact information. That's the first page. First page is a team form. That's the contacts. That's who we should credit. That's who we should ask any questions of. The second page is for what we're going to read to the judges. This is where, and they will never see this form. This will only be read to them. I read it to the judges as they are looking at the imagery and reviewing the floor plans. It's your location. What was your intent? Who was the market, whether it was a client, whether it was a spec home, or whether it was putting it out into the universe to catch new business. What was your strategy, and how do you feel you were successful? And then you can share any other details up to 200 words. And what I like to say there is tell your story. All right. Again, go back and refer to those samples that will help you to get some other information and guide you through. Some people like to do bullet points. Some people like to say in image 1, you're going to see the exterior. Image 2, you're going to see the kitchen. Image 3, you're going to see the master bedroom, and so forth. That will help you direct your client so that you can see the imagery on screen. if you're going to be going back to our call for entries and we're going to go look for our other categories, let's say we're going to be picking up our professional achievement category. Forgive me, I think I clicked on the wrong box. Nope, I did. Yay. So this is for project manager or associate. It's the name of the nominee, who submitted, and the contact information. I've given you a sample video for that person so that they can have an idea of how to answer those questions. And then realistically, in this statement below, share with us why that person's worthy of recognition. Hey, listen, Steve Smith, let me tell you about what he did this year. He had to overcome a supply chain shortage. He had to get 3 custom homes done. Not only that, he is a baseball coach for his kids' team. He took care of things in the back office for me this year. And also, he's just generally the backbone of my company. Those are the elements you want to share with the judges of why this person is worthy of recognition. Give us the detail. Give us the why they're important. Anybody have a question? All right. Again, these categories, all these forms are here. As you're going through, if you have any questions as you're going through them, please let me know. We're here to help you and to address any of those questions that you may have. All right. Now, you've gathered your materials. You're getting ready to submit. Let's just touch base on a few heads up of how to format our entries together. So let me get to this screen. All right, here's some tips and tricks. Remember, we have some new categories and requirements. So you're going to want to look at those and review those and determine how you're going to approach those. Again, all those forms are in Word. You have lots of samples and you have me. You're going to plan ahead. You're not going to wait until June 30th because that will be way too late and you're going to be under the gun. So you want to get ahead. Make a checklist. You know, I need team forms, I need floor plans, and I need images. Order that photography, get that underway, make sure that you're gathering materials, whether it's how many images you're going to have per entry and so forth. When you're talking about your statements or your narratives, you're going to want to sit down and write those again, as we talked about, to those images. And common mistakes are thinking that you remember to get a floor plan, remember to get a front exterior if you're doing a custom home, things of that nature. And always, 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 you can think like a judge. Imagine that you're presenting this to someone else and that you need to be able to digest it. So look at it in that way. So photography, I always like to say, get the best you can afford, focus on the interests. You all know what good photography looks like. You're using it for your client, for your marketing and so forth, but always look for the strengths. And if you're concerned about an image, whether or not it'll help or hurt an entry, yeah, leave that entry. If it's a bad image, leave it out. Sometimes that extra image may hurt you more than help you. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Front exteriors are crucial for any homes. You do really need to show them the face of this home. Floor plans are a must so that they can understand, and always, again, check those photos to make sure that they don't conflict or cause any harm. For your statements, again, write those statements to the photos, walk through the home, point out things that the judges should be aware of. Bullet points are very important. And here's a #1 thing. Let's say you're like myself. I was submitting my entries for the parish residents. I have 3 entries. Some people will go, well, I'll just write one statement and I'll put it in for the parish residents for my wine room, my custom home, and my home of the year. Do not do that. A boilerplate statement will only frustrate the judges. Write a statement for each one of those entries and talk to it uniquely. Even if you skinny it back down and it's only 3 or 4 sentences, give the high points, but make sure it's pinpointed towards that entry. It will help. It really does. Boilerplate statements I've in 30 years, and they've never gone well. And it doesn't save you that much more time. Again, lay your imagery out as though you're going to be presenting it to the judges. This is how it will look on screen to the judges prior to. They'll have it, the 4 across the top are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Across the bottom, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Again, imagine as though you're walking through the home. In those marketing categories, if you're going to be doing website, social media, or any of the others, Talk about what your intention was, who you were marketing to, what your strategy was, what the results were, and how it performed. And if you can give us anything about the stats, that also will help to make a difference for the jury. Now, obviously, it's not going to win or lose based on just those elements. It just helps them to digest again and understand what you were doing and how well it performed. Floor plans, again, we request that they be nice, clean floor plans. No names, no project names should be included. Clean plans are always helpful so that you can read them. And if you can put them on a single page, for instance, like this, a first floor and second floor right next to each other, it's very helpful for the judge to be able to view it. Those floor plans should be submitted as either a JPEG or a PDF. If it's a PDF, that works great. It can be multiple pages and the judges can scroll through the pages, which makes it very easy. The judges have the floor plans on their own device. They're looking at them on their screens as we are showing them the images on our own screen, guiding them through the process so that they're able to look up, they're hearing the statement, they're looking down and referencing the floor plan, and there is discussion of your entry. So they're taking their sweet time to go through, to understand, and to ask questions and have conversation. So make sure that those floor plans are easily digestible. Please, please, please do not send us working drawings that look like this with your names all over them and with lots and lots of complexity. It makes it very difficult. Now, you will not be disqualified in any way, shape, or form. Just imagine if you had to look at that versus what you looked at previously. Just it makes it a lot easier for the judge. Again, here is a great sample of a whole house remodel. What I showcased here is they did the before and after, side by side, so that you could really understand those spaces. Now they had the opportunity to be able to do that because they had the wonderful views from the same angle. But again, having those judges be able to understand and then discussing what you did and how you changed or adapted is very important for to tell the story. Now, you've got your materials together, everything's numbered, you've looked at them, you've shown them to your coworkers, you reviewed everything, and you've organized them. You're going to put them into one master folder, and it could be ABC Homes entries. And within that folder, you'll see I have the subfolders per entry. And inside, I have put together my entries, my team form, my floor plan, and my images all nice and numbered. They're ready to go. They're all nice and neatly ready. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to submit them via a link to entries@teampmp.com. That is Stephen in our office. Stephen is an amazing guy. He's going to make sure that everything comes through nice and neatly. As soon as he receives your entries, he's going to review them. He's going to make sure everything is there, and he's going to send you an email back and say, thank you so much. Your entries have been received. Everything looks to be in good order. Or he may send you back a note and say, hey, thanks for submitting. I'm missing your floor plan for entry number 2275, to which then you'll be able to replace that. He will watch over you. He wants to make sure that you have your materials. This is not in any way, shape, or form, any way you're going to be disqualified. We want to make sure your materials are received. And if we have any questions, we'll reach out. So, any questions so far? All right. If you do, please at any time, stop me. I just want to make sure that we go through this. We want to talk about really, these are the tips that are going to help you to be successful. Follow those instructions, label the materials carefully. Remember how they're going to be viewed by the judges, because that's really going to help you to tell your story. Keep things clear and concise. Tell your story. Make sure that you walk them through and give them the information that they may need. The wows, the whys, the hows. Format. Don't overthink it. Follow the rules. And think of this as a marketing presentation, as though you're presenting this to a client to get a new job, or to your boss to explain what your project was. And then obviously proofread. Never fails. It will always get something, and there'll be something in there that somebody wants to change. We actually have one entrant in another competition. They sit down after they have all their entries together and they have lunch together as a team, and they go through all their entries and they read the statement out loud. They look at the images on screen and they tell the story just as though they were doing a mock judging. And what they do is some people go, hey, you forgot to tell them the story about the elevator, or you didn't tell them about the closet we put in, or some other key element that you want to mention or you want to remove. It's just a great tip. Doesn't have to be done. It's just one of those things that we've heard that is a great final proof. And remember, realistically put yourself in the position of the judge. Try to feel how they are going to be reviewing the entries, and that will help you to get noticed. That really is where I have today. Again, if you have any questions as you're going through our call for entries, I will stop this share here. And I will go back to our call for entries. At any time, materials are there, the samples are there, the forms are available for you. You can at any time access this information and be able to answer any of the questions that you may have. So, any questions from the group today? Awesome. Well, I will conclude our conversations. Oh, I may have a question.
I do have a quick question. Are these for projects within the?
Sorry, wait, I lost your question. It cut out. Say again, please.
Are these this project submittals? Is this for projects that were built, that are completed in the last months?
So they can have built within January 1st of 2019 through June 30th of 2022. They don't have to have been, they can be started prior to that. They just have to be completed from January 1st, 2019 through June 30th of 2022. And they have to still be open for sale or occupied in that span of time. Joshua, did you have a question? Sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you. If you want to put it in the chat as well, that would be okay too. Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you. I apologize.
I think we may have lost him. I don't know. I had a question with regard to the collection entry. We are doing we're a custom builder, but we're also doing a small semi-custom community. I'm wondering if our submittals should be probably considered under the collection.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where those will fit. So if you have anything small like that, or a gathering of homes, or a collection, that's perfect space for that.
Okay. All right.
Lisa, this is Allison Charlie. I work with Alan. If only two, so it's an 8-home community and 2 of them are complete. I don't believe we will have the 3rd complete by June 30th, but because we have 2 complete, we could still consider the collection.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And what you might want to do is show us the 2 that are complete. And then if you have any renderings or any ideas of what's going to happen for the future, if you want to showcase that, or a site plan, that'll give an idea of what it is or what it's going to be. That makes a whole lot of sense.
Okay, thank you.
You can also enter the individual homes too in their categories.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
You can submit those with, you can submit the individual homes, then the collection. You could go into the specialty categories, interior design. Absolutely, there's lots of opportunity.
All right, great. Thank you so much.
For sure. That's the other thing to think about, everybody, is when you have a home, because we have so many of what I would call the categories that allow you to submit into the different spaces. So, for instance, on my sample, I submitted the parish residence for the home. I went for the wine room, but you could go for curb appeal. You could go for living space. You go outdoor living. You could go swimming pool. All those elements. What you're trying to do is not only are you giving the judges the chance to see it and recognize it in one category, but you're also building that case in case you're going for custom home of the year where they're seeing it multiple times. It's like throwing it back up on the table to make the case of why this home is so amazing. So always consider it that way. The more they see it, the more they fall in love. So that always helps. Also, you know, you can rack up that many more awards. Any other questions today? I'm at your disposal. So again, if you think of anything as you're going along, I'm available to you at any time. Take a peek. Don't wait too long. June 30th is just around the corner, and you don't want to be waiting till the deadline.